Have you ever noticed how some apps just work everywhere? On your phone, your laptop, your desktop, it doesn't matter. Well, there's a pretty good chance that behind that magic is a tool called Delphi. For decades, it's been the secret weapon for developers. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see what makes it so powerful.
So let's say you've got this amazing idea for an app. It's a game changer. But then reality hits. To launch it, you need a version for iPhone, one for Android, one for Windows, and one for Macs. I mean, that's 4 completely different projects, right? It's a massive headache, enough to make you wonder if it's even worth it. But what if it didn't have to be that?
Well, for those in the know, the answer has been Delphi for a long, long time. This thing is an absolute workhorse, battle-tested, and more relevant than ever. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. We're going to be drawing from the wisdom of experts, people like Francisco Schartz, and even the Delphi product manager himself, Marco Cantu. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, before we jump into all the cool stuff Delphi can do today, you gotta understand where it came from. Its history is actually super important to understanding its power. And believe me, Delphi has quite a story. You know, one of the best things about Delphi is that it's not some exclusive gate-kept tool. As Francisco Schartz says, it's built for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned pro who's been coding for 30 years, or if you're just getting your feet wet. Delphi has something for you. It's kind of like the ultimate Swiss Army knife for building software. And you can see that journey right here. I mean, it's come a long way since its roots back in '81 as a version of Pascal. By 1995, it was officially Delphi, and it just kept evolving. The big leap in 2011 with Delphi XE2, that's when it really became the cross-platform powerhouse we're talking about today. It's just this constant story of innovation. All right, that's the history lesson. So what's it like to actually use Delphi? Well, your command center is the IDE, the Integrated Development Environment. Honestly, just think of it as your workshop, your garage, your Batcave, where you've got every gadget you need to build something incredible. And the Delphi IDE is like a toolbox that never ends. Seriously, it has everything you can possibly need. But you know, just like with any toolbox, owning a bunch of cool tools isn't enough. You have to know which one to pick for the job and, more importantly, how to use it right. That's where the skill comes in. Oh man, we have all been there. You're coding, you make a change, then another change, and suddenly, poof, nothing works. It's the worst feeling. Well, check this out. With Delphi's built-in revision history, you can basically hit a giant undo button on your entire project. It is an absolute lifesaver, and it's just one of those little things the IDE does to make your life so much easier. So we have our workshop, the IDE. Now it's time to actually build something. In the Delphi world, you have 2 core building blocks, the programming language itself and a huge library of components that let you build things insanely fast. Let's look at each of them. Now, if you've ever looked at code from languages like Java or C#, you know what you see. A whole lot of curly braces and semicolons. It can look like a total mess. But Delphi is different. Its foundation is in a language called Pascal, which means the code is clean, it's structured, and you can actually read it like plain English. It's the difference between reading a dense legal contract and a good book. Okay, think about building with Legos. You wouldn't start by trying to create the plastic bricks yourself, right? No way. You just grab the pre-made bricks and start building your castle. Well, that's exactly what component libraries are in Delphi. This is the key to what's called Rapid Application Development, or RAD. You get this massive box of pre-built, pre-tested parts so you can focus on building the cool, unique stuff. It's all about working smarter. All right, we've got the workshop, we've got the building blocks. Now it's time to see what this thing can really do. And this is where Delphi just completely blows the competition away, connecting to basically any database you can think of, and building apps for multiple platforms. This is where the magic happens. Seriously, if you've ever tried to get an application to talk to a database, you know it can be a nightmare. It's a complicated, frustrating process. But with Delphi's DP Express, it's simple. You basically just point it to your data, and Delphi handles all the complicated plumbing for you. It's incredibly powerful. And hey, remember that nightmare scenario from the beginning, building your app 4 separate times? Well, with Delphi, that's over. You write your code one time, and Delphi compiles it into a native, super fast app for Windows, for macOS, and for iOS. This is it. This is the holy grail of software development, and Delphi's been doing it for years. You know, at the end of the day, building software isn't just about code and compilers. It's about people, the people who use the software, and just as important, the people who build it. And this is another area where the Delphi world just gets it right. It's not just a tool, it's a whole community.
I love this quote. We've all seen code that's just impossible to understand, right? It's a complete mess. And this is just a funny, but also kind of serious reminder that you're not just writing code for a computer. You're writing it for another human being who has to figure it out later. And you know what? That human being might just be you 6 months from now.
And when you do get stuck, and we all get stuck, that's when you turn to the community. And the Delphi community is full of brilliant people. Just look at this question from Stack Overflow. It's a pretty deep, technical question about something called T-Monitor, which is basically a tool for managing really complex operations in your code, making sure things happen in the right order.
And bam, here's the answer. It's perfect, it's clear, it's to the point, and it's super helpful. It doesn't just tell you what it is, it compares it to a similar idea in another language, Java, which immediately gives you context. This right here is what makes a great community. People helping people solve hard problems. So we live in this world where it feels like there's a new hot programming framework coming out every single week. It's easy to get distracted by the next shiny object, but Delphi serves as this powerful reminder that there is incredible value in mastering one great, comprehensive tool. So I'll just leave you with that question to think about. Instead of being a jack of all trades, what's the real value in becoming a master of one? Something to chew on. Thanks for watching.